With a potential NCAA tourney berth hanging in the balance, a couple of Gopher mainstays celebrating senior night. Jordan Murphy and Dupree McBrayer trying to exit the barn with a signature win. Their opponent has plenty of motivation as well. Carson Edwards and the Boilers would wrap up at least a share of the conference crown with a win tonight. Basketball on BTN, presented by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. The Minnesota Golden Gophers playing host to number 11 Purdue. Dave Rebs and Jack Crispin with you as we take a look at our starting lineups, John.
Well, the somewhat usual suspects for both starting lineups, but the issue for Minnesota is a lack of depth. Not going to have Michael Hurt today, out with an injury. And Eric Curry, done for the season with a ruptured tendon in his foot. This guy has really struggled with injuries, and the problem for Minnesota, this is a game where you need depth, especially in the front court. Eric Curry would be the guy that would provide that.
Really tough to see. Of course, missed the year last year with an injury as well. Matt Painter and the Boilers, a ton at stake for them. Again, a win here clinches them at least a share of the Big Ten championship. They could win it outright with a win here and a win against Northwestern this weekend. What do they need to do to get it, John?
Well, first and foremost, you got to make it a half-court game. If you make it a half-court game, you trust the defense of the Boilers. They've been really good defensively. But if it's a full-court game, look out. This is a Minnesota team with a ton of firepower.
Purdue winning the opening tip. This is Ryan Klein. Now Matt Harms, who's been exceptional of late. There's Nogel Eastern into the lane. Daniel Oturu with a big block. Dupree McBrayer the other way. Amir Coffey up and in. So the reigning Big Ten Player of the Week gets the first two.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. This is a Minnesota team that is dangerous when they get out and run. When they get in their sets at times, they struggle because they don't have a point guard. But in transition, Amir Coffey is incredibly effective.
Carson Edwards, the nation's 11th leading scorer, being guarded by Gabe Kalsher. The freshman is an outstanding defender. Edwards stepping back. That is a two that doesn't go. And Murphy the rebound. Here comes McBrayer. Now Kalsher, really good outside shooter. Inside to Oturu on the baseline, left it short. And Klein, Eifert the rebound for Purdue.
And if Oturu's going to have that advantage, that's just too open for Carson Edwards. He can knock that down more often than not. If Oturu's going to have that matchup advantage against Grady Eifert, he can't fade away from the basket. It could be a defensive foul. Amir Coffey gave him a little chicken wing.
Fouls on Nogel Eastern, that is his first.
The key in playing the transition game for Minnesota is not having to reset. When you reset, you allow the defense to get set, and that plays right into the hands of the Boilermakers.
There's Kalsher. Line on him. Now McBrayer. There's Coffey. Shot clock at 10. Oturu double teamed. Shot clock at 5. Oturu, tough contested shot. And Eastern the rebound for the Boilermakers.
Sideline out of bounds. Again, defense gets set. Purdue's just too good when their defense is able to get in position, start communicating early in the possession. And I said it, look, this is kind of the key for both teams, right? Purdue, keep them out of transition. Minnesota, get out and run. When they get out and run, they're hard to stop, especially when the guy's got the length and capabilities of Amir Coffey.
Now Kalsher for three. Back heel and out, but the rebound to McBrayer and a fresh 30 for Minnesota. Murphy, good feet inside. Murphy missed the layup. And here comes Klein for Purdue.
Matt Harms has been on Jordan Murphy, and I have a feeling Matt Harms is going to cause some problems down there. That was a really deep three. Usually you got to make a few to take a heat check. Not so much for Carson Edwards. Holy smokes.
Here's McBrayer hanging in the air and hitting. Dupree McBrayer on his senior day, of course, playing with a heavy heart. Lost his mother, Tyra McFarland, earlier this year. Has some aunts and uncle and cousin, brother, a couple of childhood friends here to celebrate with him tonight. Good to see him get on the board early. Eastern trying to get it to Harms, knocked away, and here come the Gophers. McBrayer. Now Murphy double teamed inside Oturu. Good ball movement to Kalsher. Can't get it to go, and Eastern corrals the board.
Well, Jordan Murphy did a good thing in terms of dribbling out of the double team. The problem is he dribbled right to the corner. If he can dribble that back out to the wing, he's going to have more options in terms of guys to pass to.
Here's Eifert. Now Harms on the blocks. And Matt Harms, who has really been good of late since being inserted back into the starting lineup, gets his first two.
Well, Matt Harms did what Daniel Oturu needs to do. He got position on the block, not 15 feet away from the basket, but on the block. And when he gets that position, gets to that right shoulder left hook, it's hard to stop.
Coffee loses it, and it's picked up by Eifert. Over for the Gophers. Edwards to Harms, tough catch. Murphy trying to wrestle it away. Harms, backed away, blocked by Murphy. Here comes Murphy on the break. Kalsher, not there. And the Boilers dodge a bullet there.
You can get frustrated over missed shots, or you can feel really good about the fact that you're getting open looks, especially in transition, secondary break.
Harms surrounded down in under. Oturu may have gotten a piece of that one. Back out to Klein for three. Ryan Klein, second in the Big Ten in made threes, behind only Carson Edwards. Puts Purdue up 8-4. Murphy. Here's Coffee. Got it. 5 early points for Amir Coffee. And Minnesota back within one.
Purdue does a great job of helping in the paint, keeping the basketball out of there, but in doing so, you give up that drive and kick from time to time.
Here's Eifert, has been really good of late. Brady Eifert just knows his role and fills it beautifully. Hitting the three there. He is now 6 of his last 9. And Minnesota calling the timeout. 11-7. Purdue on top of the Gophers.
No reset.
Back in Minneapolis, where Purdue is trying to capture at least a share of its 24th Big Ten title, would be the most of any school. A win here, a win Saturday at Northwestern, and they don't need to worry about Michigan. Michigan State, they would be the outright champs. Dave Revson, Jack Crispin with you courtside here at the Barn. Tough task, though, for the Boilers tonight, because Minnesota has a ton to play for as well.
They really do. I mean, you think about Purdue and what they're playing for. Yes, it's a regular season title, but for Minnesota, it's an opportunity to extend your season into the NCAA tournament. I think watching this team play, they're an NCAA tournament team. But when it comes down to it, the numbers, the metrics, they have to add up. This would be a key win for them to get tonight.
Trevion Williams just into the ball game, had it blocked by Mott Stockman. Now Williams getting it back, trying to work inside, use the arm there to ward off Stockman. No call, and no basket either, so I guess no harm, no foul.
Usually the arm bar is for the defense.
It was odd. Here's Coffee to Murphy, spinning. Murphy is fouled by Williams.
Stockman, senior night for him as well. This guy's got to find a way. You just got to impact the basketball game. It doesn't mean you got to go out and score points. Impact the basketball game. Yes, a little shuffle off by Trevion Williams.
It's unconventional.
It was different.
Yeah. Jordan Murphy missing the free throw. Murphy, such a brilliant career. Originally signed with VCU. They released him when Shaka Smart got the Texas job. Richard Pitino saw him that spring, liked him a lot, but he was telling me that he could have never envisioned that he would be the player he has become, including the second all-time leading rebounder in Big Ten history, behind only the great Jerry Lucas. Really a remarkable career.
Well, I remember his freshman year, you saw him just make plays, and he attacked the basket like he's 7 feet tall. I never thought it would continue this way. You see the turnover from Purdue. I never would have seen his game continue to grow the way it has. He hasn't changed who he is, hasn't changed how he plays. He's just gotten better and better as the year's going on.
Third turnover for the Boilermakers. Pressure there from Eric Hunter, who is checked into the game, number 2 for Purdue. Stockman, the pull-up doesn't go. And battle for the board, it will be Purdue ball.
That's one of those plays where they probably could have called a foul on Jordan Murphy. Instead, they just said out of bounds on Minnesota. Purdue basketball. See if they got it right anyway. Yeah, I think Jordan Murphy did hit it. The fact these guys get those right more often than not, that's crazy. It's hard to do.
Here's Klein. Turns it over. Murphy now one-on-one with Wheeler, and Wheeler knocks it away, but they call him for a foul. First foul on the redshirt freshman Aaron Wheeler.
I would say that's a part of Jordan Murphy's game that he really needs to improve upon, handling the basketball in the open court. He's not a 6'10", 6'11", 7-footer, so he's going to have to be able to handle the basketball. With his explosiveness, he's still dangerous.
Breyer. Now Murphy. Working on Williams, and the foul. What a move by Jordan Murphy.
See a little different lineup right now. You got Travion Williams, Hunter, Wheeler in the basketball game. They were not there on the spin. They've been playing Jordan Murphy's spin, where if he gets stopped, you have to be in position because you know Jordan Murphy's going to spin back to that opposite side and try to finish at the rim. Grady Eifert did a great job of that a few possessions ago. He's back in the game.
That foul was on Wheeler, his second, so you see him taking his seat with those 2 fouls. And Murphy able to hit the free throw. He is closing in on Sam Jacobson on the career scoring list for Minnesota, just past Kevin McHale.
Not a bad guy to pass, huh?
Luminaries. Here's Edwards, and Kalsher got him.
There's almost no way to stop Carson Edwards if he's able to turn the corner because he gets his body into the defender. The only thing you can do as a defender is foul. It's just whether you foul him on the drive or foul him on the shot.
First foul on Gabe Kalsher, the freshman there from Edina, Minnesota.
A much improved defender. Oh, that's a guy that has gotten so much better over the course of his freshman year when you give a young freshman time and also place expectations on him in terms of how he's got to play the game, defend. He's done that.
Edwards hitting the first free throw. One more for the Big Ten's leading scorer. That one doesn't go, but harms the offensive rebound. Sasha Stefanovic in the game for Purdue. Knifing through is Edwards. Three-point trip for the Boilermakers.
Let's see if Minnesota can move the basketball, make this defense work, not just throw it into the post and play through the post, but really get the ball side to side, make the defense chase.
Murphy, the long 2 that doesn't go, and the rebound to Stefanovic. Edwards. Tracked down now by Coffey. Here's Coffey in the open floor. Good feed inside, and Stockman finishes.
Really goes back to transition opportunities. It doesn't have to be just on a steal or a missed shot. No matter where you get it, you have to push, attack in transition. Amir Coffey doing a great job making a good decision in transition.
The ball movement from the Gophers ends up with Hunter. And now Amir Coffey. Coffey off glass and in. Amir Coffey picking up where he left off the other night. Good start for him. And the Gophers up by 1. 7 points now for Coffey. And this crowd coming to its feet. Edwards in on Stockman. No foul is called. Coffey the spin move. And Hunter fouled him. First foul on Hunter, and the Gophers playing for a potential NCAA tourney berth in the lead, John.
Oh, look, it's all about getting out and running. You've got to attack in transition. That's when the defense isn't set. It's when you're going to get your high percentage shots. Minnesota's done just that.
Men's basketball on BTN is presented by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans and brought to you by State Farm. Here to help life go right. Talk to a State Farm agent today.
6'1" senior from Minneapolis, Minnesota, the heart of the team, number 12, Jarvis Johnson.
Really cool moment pregame as Jarvis Johnson was introduced as the sixth man. He has not played in his career for Minnesota, was not medically cleared his freshman year, was a borderline top 100 recruit, had a heart condition, but has been part of the team for all 4 years, and rewarded today as Minnesota turns it over, rewarded today with kind of that ceremonial start on his senior day with his parents here, a Minnesota native who really was a key early recruit for Richard Pitino. We had a chance to visit with him today. What a neat kid.
A special kid. I mean, he wants to be an influencer. You think about how he's helped lead this team, not even being able to play, but help lead this team. Well, he wants to help in the community. Really a special kid. And I give him all the credit in the world for persevering and staying here throughout that process. It's a special thing to be able to do. It's a reminder that, again, this is, I've said it before, college basketball teams are more about family than they are about team. And I think the only way to understand that is to be a part of it.
That foul was on Brock Stoll. Yeah, you mentioned Johnson wanting to give back. He majored in youth studies here at Minnesota. So to me today, I want to give inner city kids hope. That line really resonated with me. I feel so strongly about this community as Harms misses the three and everything they have done to support him. Really a remarkable story and a guy with tremendous perspective at a young age. Here's Coffey, good feed inside. Murphy muscles it up and in. 6 points for Jordan Murphy, and Minnesota extends the lead out to 3 as we hit the halfway point of this first half. A 6-0 run for the Gophers. Stefanovic through the lane, can't finish, but he's fouled.
Minnesota doing a good job operating with a two-man game. Look, this is why you have Matt Harms on Jordan Murphy, because Grady Eifert gets stuck on Jordan Murphy here. Grady Eifert does a great job of just walling up, but the Grady Eifert wall up is a little bit different than the Matt Harms wall. You know, Matt Harms, what's he go, about 10 feet just standing on the ground? I mean, he doesn't have to jump. And Matt Painter does a good job of teaching his guys how not to foul, how to go straight up. I think a lot of coaches throughout the conference, throughout the league, not just this league, throughout the country, are teaching guys how to contest without foul.
A couple misses there for Sasha Stefanovic at the free throw line. That was 3 of 8 on the year. It's surprising given what a good shooter he is.
Yeah, and free throw shooting's a great way to find rhythm.
Murphy, Stockman, picked out of bounds by Eastern. It'll be Minnesota ball.
I mean, you see how Matt Harms is able to just influence the shot, right? He just forces you to take a tougher shot. It ends up in Mott Stockman's hands. He blocks it. I mean, he's just so active with that length. There's nothing there. All you can do is give the basketball up, and Matt Harms is still there to take it away.
Nice applause for Stockman as he takes the seat again. His playing time. Offensive foul there on Curry as he got Nojel Eastern in the face. On Coffey, I should say. That is the first on Amir Coffey.
I love watching their faces. And Amir Coffey's face right here, he knows he got him. But basically what he's saying is, look, it wasn't that bad. He knows he got him. They're going to take a look at it because he did catch him high.
Courtney Green coming over to tell us they're going to take a look at that and see whether or not we might have a flagrant foul on Amir Coffey.
You know, you can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to actually get his arm in front and basically be a hook, but instead he ends up catching him in the jaw.
I was mentioning a moment ago that increased playing time for Stockman, a guy who hasn't played in the last 3 games, but in case you're just joining us, Unfortunately for Minnesota, they announced today that Eric Curry is out for the year. He's their top sub off the bench, their 6th man, has a ruptured foot tendon suffered in practice. As we take a look again.
Eric Curry's another guy that's had to persevere and go through a lot physically. I think he catches it. You know, look, this is one of those things that go either way. He definitely catches them. I just don't like when things are so black and white. You know what I mean? Like, I think we've gotten to that point where if it is contact, they're likely going to call it. To me, there are no absolutes in basketball. It's hard to say he meant to do this, so we just make it a black and white rule.
Larry Scarrato coming over now. And it is indeed.
It's a basketball. I got my way.
Nope.
I did. I finally got some. Look, I get when they have to make that call. I go back to the Indiana-Wisconsin game. That was a game-changing call. Ethan Happ catches Juwan Morgan with an elbow going after a loose ball, and Ethan Happ had the advantage. He was in front. Changes the game.
So just a common foul there on Coffey. I thought for a moment from the crowd reaction that they had called it a flagrant.
The crowd changed pretty quickly once they found out the truth.
Here's Harms. Thought about the 3. Now inside it goes through Harms' hands, and a turnover for Purdue. That is the 5th for the Boilermakers.
That's the 2nd time they've turned the ball over on that baseline out of the 2-man game. I'm not sure if it's communication, timing, high passes, a little bit too much mustard on it. Why did I say mustard?
That's the expression.
I know. Yeah. A lot of things I don't know where they come from.
Hanging and hitting is McBrayer. It'd be interesting to know where the extra mustard comes from. But I'm not sure we'll get that answer right now.
Someone will tweet it out.
Purdue scoreless now for more than 4 minutes. As Minnesota's gone on a good run here, 8-0. And an offensive foul on the Boilers. Going to go against Eifert setting that screen.
And that's the right call. They really have worked on cleaning up screening. Screening's one of those things. It is all about advantage gain. And there's an advantage gain here. When you're not set, you run into a guy. They're going to call that every single time. And I like that play that Purdue runs, that double high ball screen. Matt Harms slips to the basket or rolls. Brady Eifert pops out for 3. He got one earlier.
Not much ambiguity in that foul though, as Edwards steals it away. Here's Edwards in on Oturu and lays it in. Carson Edwards with a...
Oh my God, that's a... He just jumped. He jumped early, and that's a veteran move. He jumped early before Daniel Oturu could get his feet set and elevate.
Coffey over to Murphy. 3 ball on the way. And the rebound to Eastern. Here's Nogel Eastern. Gets it up on the rim, no good. McBrayer the rebound. Coffey. Here's Murphy. Eastern on him. Good move. Murphy off glass, does not get the roll, but he will go to the free throw line.
And on the face-up, you've got to be there if you want to take that away from Jordan Murphy. But Carson Edwards, this is what I'm talking about. This is just an experienced move. He's going to take off. He's going to jump early. I think he takes off the opposite leg. No, he took off the left leg. He jumped early and still found a way to get that thing to go.
Minnesota by 3 over Purdue as we take a look at tonight's Making the Right Play, presented by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans.
Making the right play is just get out and run. I don't care if you score or not. You've got to get out and push the tempo. If you push the tempo, you're going to find opportunities, whether it be in your initial break, the initial surge, or in secondary. You get in secondary break where the ball's moving, bodies are moving, the defense is scrambling to find out where your man is. That's when they're going to have success. And Dave, I got to say that this game is reminding me a lot of their first meeting at Mackey. Minnesota was able to get out and run. The adjustment was made at halftime. It turned into a half-court game for the Gophers on the offensive end, and then Purdue just came right back.
Well, that a game they led by 13 in the second half. Richard Pitino's team did before letting it slip away. Huge game here for both sides. We talk about Purdue trying to win a share of the Big Ten title. Minnesota trying to solidify an NCAA tourney spot. They are currently a 10 seed, according to Howie Schwab. A win here would be enormous.
I would say for Purdue, it's less about playing with urgency, and it's more about, that helps. It's more about playing with discipline. When they execute on both sides of the floor, when they execute on the defensive end, it's really hard to score against. When they execute on the offensive side of the ball, there's so many three-point shooters you got to take away that you either get layups or threes.
Well, that's the second three for Ryan Klein, equaling his total from the last 2 games combined coming in. Here's Murphy trying to back his way in. Murphy hanging and hitting. Jordan Murphy now has 10, so into double figures already is Jordan Murphy. And Minnesota's lead back up to 4. Harms working on Oturu. Harms trying to get to that hook shot. Rolls out. Murphy the rebound. Coffey to McBrayer. Now Oturu double teamed and a turnover. Klein to Eastern. No shell. Eastern throwing it down.
Wow. That was aggressive.
I would say so.
Violent.
Purdue back within 2. It's an emphatic way to get your first 2 points. Oturu answers on the other end.
I feel like the best plays are the ones that shut me up the most. That one did.
There's a general consensus about that, by the way.
That was,
yeah.
That was dirty.
There's Klein. Now Harms inside. He lost it on the way up, but he draws the foul.
Hey.
Take a look at that again. A BTN standout presented by Auto Owners Insurance.
I talk about the transition game from Minnesota. Why not get out and run and get yourself back in this basketball game if you're Purdue? Look, you're playing for a championship. An outright regular season championship in the Big Ten. No one would have called that in December.
Matt Harms been a big part of that. Point number 3 for him at a career high with 21 points, 10 rebounds against Illinois last week. His first career double-double. And Matt Painter really complimentary of Harms today. Has said he has embraced his role, whatever Painter has wanted him to do this year. Was coming off the bench for a while, now back in the lineup and just getting better and better.
Well, his energy is never going to be a question. He always brings great energy. It's whether he can avoid fouling, whether he can be an impact player on the offensive end, move the basketball, set good screens, make the right reads. That's how you get open shots.
Jarvis Omersa, number 21 in there for the Gophers. But it's Amir Coffey hitting the 3. And Coffey now with 10 points. 24th double-figure game of the year for him. Largest lead for Minnesota. Harms for 3. Doesn't go. Eastern, the beautiful offensive board.
And that's the tough matchup right there. No Joe Eastern's in position around the rim. He's going to have a great opportunity with whoever he's being covered by. If it's a guard, I'm taking No Joe Eastern to get that offensive rebound.
He is Purdue's leading rebounder, No Joe Eastern is. As Coffey draws the foul.
I like what I'm seeing from Amir Coffey. I mean, that's a guy who is really attacking. I always say the aggressor always wins. Whether you win the game or not, the aggressor always finds a way to win. He's gotten to the basket. He's sought out opportunities to get open shots around the perimeter. Even on that time, the defense was there. He just continued to press that thing all the way around to the left side where he finishes well.
Amir Coffey, huge game Thursday in a road win over Northwestern, including a career-high 12 rebounds. So it's 31 points, 1 shy of his career high as well. And again, I mentioned the reigning Big Ten Player of the Week. And picking up right where he left off, he now has a dozen. And the Gophers back out to the 6-point advantage.
With Amir Coffey, I would say take 15 good shots and 5 bad ones. You go out and take 20 shots. He can change the game if he is aggressive on the offensive end.
Evan Boudreau, number 12. Transfer from Dartmouth in there for Purdue. Line having some troubles out top. Here's Edwards with the shot clock at 10. Edwards. Now Hunter in on Stockman. way off the mark. And Coffey the board. Coffey through the lane. Amir Coffey has come to play again. 14 for him, and the Boilers need a timeout. Minnesota by 8 over Purdue.
Welcome back to Williams Arena, one of the best places to come see a basketball game in the conference, especially if they're playing well. This is a Minnesota team that's got a ton of firepower, and if they get out in transition, they are hard to stop. Amir Coffey, he's doing it with rebounds, he's attacking in the open floor. Really tough stop if you don't stop the basketball early. You've got to get out ahead of the play if you're Purdue. The adjustment is stop the basketball at three-quarter court, force it into a half-court game.
There is his father, Richard Coffey, former Gopher star, who was a paratrooper before coming to Minnesota, played in the NBA. Of course, his sister, Nia, was an All-American at Northwestern and top 5 pick in the WNBA draft, so pretty impressive basketball family. Here's Edwards. We've got to try to get something going here, down by 8. Edwards nowhere to go. Klein, back heel and out, and not Stockman with the rebound. Here is Coffey around the screen for Murphy. Now Brock Stoll, inside Stockman, double teamed. Stoll, good head fake, rims out, and the rebound Eifert.
It's an interesting lineup for Purdue on the defensive end. They're going to have to double whoever gets the ball in the post, but that may leave Jordan Murphy at times if you can get the ball to him.
Edwards trying to knife through, and Stockman knocks it away.
Every time I see Carson Edwards take a tough shot, I immediately look at Matt Painter. And what Matt Painter just said to Carson Edwards was move the basketball. Moving the basketball is going to create rhythm in the game on the offensive end for the Boilermakers. They haven't been able to find it yet. They've been able to make some shots, but they haven't been able to create rhythm on the offensive end. That's ultimately what allows you to win basketball games.
Yeah, Matt Painter today talking a lot about decision-making for Carson Edwards. He went through that slump where he was 1 out of 20 from 3. Misses this one. No Gel Eastern, though. The offensive board. Edwards knifing through. And he will get to the free throw line as he came in with a head of steam on Stockman.
There's got to be like another word for that. I mean, like, there are guys that knife through. There are slashers. I don't know what he is. It's like a shotgun goes off. That guy just attacks. And he doesn't need a lot of space. He creates space because of his physicality.
Edwards to the free throw line, trying to add to his 8 points as he misses that one. Remind you to stick around the State Farm halftime report. Mike Hall and Stephen Bardo break down the first half, get you up to speed on that Michigan State-Nebraska game. Of course, it's very important for Purdue fans. All of that and more coming up, the State Farm halftime report. One more here for the Big Ten's leading scorer, Carson Edwards, 1 of 2.
And here's this is the adjustment I was talking about. Carson Edwards picking up the ball at three-quarter court. You force it into a half-court game. It's an adjustment they made at home when Purdue was able to come back from down 13. And they just made the change now.
For a Minnesota team without a true point guard. One knocked away. Murphy's got it underneath. And the foul. Jordan Murphy will go to the line to try to put Minnesota up by 10.
Dave, there are a lot of big guys out there that make the mistake of putting the ball down. They put it on the floor. They don't really gain they don't gain better position. Jordan Murphy gained better position by putting the basketball on the floor. That is a power dribble. And a power dribble is not just dribble with force. The power dribble is create space with the dribble. Jordan Murphy did just that.
That foul was on Travion Williams. That is number 3 on him. So you see him taking his seat on the Purdue bench as Murphy goes to the free throw line and now has 13. So Murphy and Coffey with 27 of the 35 for the Gophers, who now have their largest lead of the night at 10 as this crowd once again rises as one in Minneapolis. Klein Eastern. Eifert, not there, and Stoll's got the board.
And that goes back to rhythm. When you have better rhythm on the offensive end, you make more of those open shots. When you don't have rhythm, you tend to miss those shots.
A rush here for Minnesota. 38 to go in this first half. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Murphy. Eifert goes down in an offensive foul on Jordan Murphy. Chris Beaver making the call there, and Murphy clearly does not agree, and neither does Richard Pitino.
I felt like from our seat, now we're a few feet below the court, from our seat, I think he was falling. Yeah, he took a dive. Lottie-dottie. I'm with you, Richard. He did. Those are hard, you know, as an official, you don't see the angle. And ultimately, that is deception. That is deceiving the official. Those are the things that they're trying to correct and get out of the game. That's why we have the hook and hold flagrant.
Obviously, a ton on the line here for Pitino's Gophers tonight.
Challenge flag would have been thrown on that one for sure.
Here's Eastern, shot clock at 10. Eastern misses the three, stole the rebound. Maybe not a great shot there for Nojel Eastern, who's now 0 of 5 behind the arc this season. Final minute of this first half.
If all you've taken is 5 threes all season, you probably shouldn't take any.
Not in a game where you're playing for a share of the Big Ten title. McBrayer. Not there. Crowd wanted a foul. Here comes Edwards the other way for Purdue. Boilers really need a hoop. Edwards can't provide it. Knocked away. Stoll trying to chase it down, and Brock Stoll comes right over us. Great hustle there with a transfer from Milwaukee. Hey, we're fine. No issues.
That popcorn over there is not fine. That $30 box of popcorn next to us is not fine. Oh, Dave, there you got your hands up.
Cool, calm, and collected.
You got to hold your ground, Dave. You're not going to get the call.
I was ready to take the charge. Great hustle there by Stoll, and he goes to the free throw line. Transfer from Milwaukee. Gets his first point, just his third point over his last 6 appearances. Was the second leading scorer for the Panthers last year. Again, the State Farm halftime report coming up. In a great first half here for Minnesota as the Gophers look for a signature win. Trying to play themselves off of the bubble and into the NCAA tournament against a team that knows it's going to the tourney, but is trying to get a share of the Big Ten title tonight in Purdue. About a second or so different shot clock and game clock. Edwards trying to get it to Harms. It'll be Purdue ball with 6 to shoot.
Ryan Klein had his mind made up. He was going to give the ball to Carson Edwards. He had Matt Harms wide open on a slip. If he was able to see and make that pass, it would have been a dunk for Harms.
See what Purdue has in store here. Edwards, coffee all over him. Edwards, tough step back. Doesn't go. Eifert, offensive board, back up and in. Grady Eifert gives Purdue a shot in the arm heading into the locker room.
That's a big basket for Purdue. Look, Purdue's going to have some adjustments to make. The question is, when they make those adjustments, will Minnesota have an answer? That was the problem at Purdue for Minnesota. They just didn't have an answer for the adjustments.
No doubt got it off in plenty of time. So Purdue getting a hoop it really needed. The Boilers shooting just 30% in this first half, 50% for the Gophers. A ton at stake here. Looking forward to the second half. Mike Hall, Stephen Bardo, though, standing by in Chicago after the break.
Do you know what the U of M does for you? From farms to breweries and orchards to markets, discover how the University of Minnesota is cultivating a new crop of Minnesota businesses.
Do you know what the U of M does for you? From hooves to hands and paws to possibilities, Discover how the University of Minnesota is making medical advances for all Minnesotans.
Don't kid with COVID. mHealth Fairview wants you to know that what you do today will affect your family and our community tomorrow. Good hand washing protects you and can slow the spread of the virus. Use soap and warm water. Be sure to wash both sides between your fingers, fingernails, thumbs, and wrists. Scrub for at least 20 seconds. Wash early and often. Wash your hands. Avoid big groups. Stay home. Don't go out. We've all got to do our part.
Gophers flexing their muscles in the first half here in Minneapolis, 37-27 over Purdue at the break. A huge game for both of these teams. Dave Revson, John Christman back with you courtside. We've been talking about it. Minnesota with a win. They feel like that would almost certainly ensure them an NCAA tourney bid. And for Purdue, they're playing for a championship. Yep. You win this game and you guarantee at least a share of a Big Ten title. What do they need to do to get back in this one?
Well, you think about it, fans look at it and say what went wrong in the first half, but a coaching staff's going to look at it and say now what? And where it starts is defensive transition. And it's not about being better in terms of your defensive transition. It's about eliminating as many transition opportunities as possible. That's what allows Purdue to be who they are. It allows them to operate with discipline and move the basketball on the offensive end. Play a little bit more patiently on the offensive end. And then I'll say Minnesota's got to have a counter for whatever adjustment Matt Painter makes.
Well, remember, they made some great adjustments when these two played in West Lafayette, went on a 21-2 run to erase a 13-point second-half deficit. As we take a look at tonight's Auto Owners Insurance game leaders, been Coffey and Murphy for Minnesota, combining for 27 of the 37 for the Gophers, have both just been outstanding. And for Jordan Murphy, his last home game here as a Gopher, senior night, trying to go out with a flourish.
Maybe the adjustments just stop those two dudes. Look,
it's
could
as
be
simple as
that, right?
Here's Daniel Oturu, pretty quiet first half for him. Good defense there by Eifert to tie him up, and it'll be Purdue ball.
Grady Eifert did a great job of gapping. The ball went on the floor, and he didn't just hug up against Daniel Oturu. He took a step back and allowed himself to get his hands on the basketball.
Grady Eifert does so many of the little things well. It's just been a tremendous story of perseverance for Purdue. Started his career as a walk-on.
They're not in the position they're in if it's not for a guy like Grady Eifert.
Got to get this guy going. Edwards misses the three. So Carson Edwards now 1 of 6 behind the arc in this game. Here's Kalsher. Murphy. And nearly stolen. Oturu in a heap of trouble. Now Edwards has it. Edwards will slow things up. Carson Edwards to the left hand, can't get it to go, but Eifert the big follow.
I was about to call it. I was going to say Carson Edwards is getting shot. You could tell since he missed that three, he wanted to attack. He just didn't feel like he had numbers, nor did he have control of the basketball. But lo and behold, Grady Eifert, he's there to clean it all up.
Edwards now just 3 of 13. But Eifert, Johnny on the spot there. McBrayer tries to answer. That doesn't go, and harms the rebound.
If Carson Edwards goes to the basket, you've got to have backside rebounders on the offensive end because Carson Edwards just gets so much attention. Going to bring shot blockers his way.
There's Klein, turns it over. McBrayer in on Harms. Gets it to go. Dupree McBrayer, acrobatic now with 6.
It's such a tough finish. I just like the fact that Dupree McBrayer, and that's really what he's all about. He's not going to sit back and take a jump shot or take a fadeaway or throw up a bad shot. He went right into the chest of one of the best shot blockers in this conference.
Yeah, number 2 in the Big Ten in blocks is Matt Harms. Here's Edwards again. That one goes. Carson Edwards hitting a big 3. Now has a dozen.
And here's the adjustment. You see Nogel Eastern taking away any transition opportunity. forcing this Minnesota team in the half court. Again, the adjustment Minnesota needs to make is find good offense in the half court.
Oturu. And a foul on Purdue.
Purdue foul, 24.
That's a little official scouting report. Blocking foul. Eifert took the dive. He got the call in the first half. He was not going to get this one.
That's the third foul on Grady Eifert, who has really been good here for the Boilers. So decision time for Matt Painter.
Yeah, he's inside the restricted arc anyway.
Here's Coffey hanging in the air, and he'll go to the line as Eastern got him. That's 2 on Nogel Eastern.
Those are tough plays to defend. It seems like a simple play, but when you're getting screened, you're going to have to fight over that screen hard. The big guy can't stay and hedge hard because it would be an easy dive for the screener and a layup. That's why if you screen well, if you really set good screens, you create opportunities not only for yourself, but for everybody else.
Coffey rolls home the first one as we remind you next week, every team has a shot at the 2019 Big Ten Men's Basketball Tournament presented by SoFi, live from the United Center in Chicago. Exclusive coverage of the first 10 games begins next Wednesday on BTN and the Fox Sports app. First 10 all here on BTN. Lead for Minnesota. Trying to enhance its tourney standing. Gophers could be as high as a 6, as low as a 10. Harms can't get it to go. The offensive rebound, though. Now Eastern. Trying to weave his way through, and he'll pull it back out. Eastern. Doesn't go. And a foul on Minnesota.
Just seeing the aggression for Purdue to start this half. They're cutting harder off of screens. They're setting better screens. They're making scoring passes, and that was something we didn't see a lot of in the first half. They made passes, but they're not scoring passes. There's a difference.
Eastern. Now Edwards. And Purdue can clinch a share of the Big Ten title with a win, and that'll help Ryan Klein with his third 3 of the game. Now 9 points for the senior.
There is not a better shooter coming off of that pin down screen than Ryan Klein, because he likes to fade away when he shoots that jump shot. It's almost like his percentages go up with a little fade away and a leg kick.
Coffey lobs it up for Stockman, gets the roll. Stockman has given them some good minutes.
He sure has on both ends of the floor. Now, I think that lob was actually for Jordan Murphy, but it was basically whoever gets it first is getting a layup.
You know, Eric Curry for the Gophers out for the year. Stockman trying to fill those minutes. And a foul on Minnesota. Third foul on Gabe Kalsher. It's an 8-point lead for the Gophers. Men's basketball on BTN is brought to you by Auto Owners Insurance, trusted for generations. Visit AutoOwners.com. And brought to you by Country Mart. Get more per gallon. Look at the Senior Day celebration for the Gophers, and hoping to celebrate with a win that would solidify an NCAA tourney spot. They are currently a 10 seed, according to Howie Schwab. The great win on the road at Wisconsin. Have a neutral court win over Washington as well. They are in right now, according to 89 of the 96 online brackets at the bracket matrix. So this is an NCAA tournament team, but they probably need one more quality win, Richard Pitino was saying today, to feel comfortable with where they stand.
Well, absolutely. I think you have opportunities down the stretch, obviously, for this Minnesota team, and opportunities that Nebraska did not have last year. One more good win is definitely getting them in. It takes a lot of pressure off what they're going to have to do at the Big Ten tournament.
Coffey can't finish. Stockman draws the foul. Real quality minutes for the senior from Oslo, Norway, and that is 4 on Travion Williams.
Travion Williams having a tough time staying on the floor. And this happens a lot with freshmen, and coaches out there are going to know exactly what I'm talking about. Freshmen are always a step behind the play. Nick Ward was like that. He was a step behind defending the ball screen. And when you're a step behind, you put yourself in position to foul. You chase the play, you're not in position to actually make the defensive play, and you end up fouling, and Travion Williams headed right back to the bench.
Stockman missing the free throw. A young man who grew up in Norway, went to high school in the Canary Islands, 3 years at Louisville, and then finishing up here for Minnesota. 5 points for him, and the lead back up to 8. Wheeler, Coffey the steal. Here's McBrayer, and he is fouled.
Klein went down really hard. Both of them did. But Klein hit the stanchion really hard. A lot of respect there. Jordan Murphy, Gabe Kalsher, and Dupree McBrayer. You understand, these guys are competitors. They're opponents. But they do respect one another pretty well, especially the guys that have been around the league for a few years.
That is really encouraging to see, because you're right, he went down hard. Take a look at it again here.
Jeez. I would need the golf cart to get me back to the hotel after that.
Well, adding injury to insult, I guess. Yeah. He ends up with the foul.
That's the right foul, though. I mean, clean basketball play, the right foul. You got to put Dupree McBrayer at the foul line. You don't want to get, again, stopping the play in transition. It helps limit the type of rhythm that Minnesota's going to get back into if they get out and run. You also have to take care of the basketball. That's an issue for Purdue.
Second foul on Klein as Dupree McBrayer hits both free throws. 8 points now for him, and the lead is back to 8. The steal by Stockman in the open floor, and he has it knocked away by Hunter. How about Mott Stockman?
This crowd loves him. They love them some Mott Stockman. Isn't Norway the Frozen ride at Disney? Come on, you got to know this. It's got to be Norway, right? It's the Frozen ride.
I gotta be honest.
Got daughters? Come on, man.
Well, it's been a long time.
I don't even have kids, and I know
they're a little old for that kind of thing now.
I'm 38. Come on, man. Mott Stockman. Hey, look, I just said Purdue's got to take care of the basketball, and a simple ball reversal pass gets stolen by Mott Stockman, and he almost takes it the entire way.
The crowd chanting MVP now for Mott Stockman, which may be a slight hyperbole.
He has been playing well, though.
Oh, he's been great.
Again, it's not about going out and get 20. It's just impact the basketball game in a good way. Brady Eifert does it. Great job, Dupree McBrayer jumping that screen. If it's not going to be tight, you got to jump in front, force him out.
Here's Edwards. Edwards. Good move.
That's the patience he's got to play with. The sit down. So many things happen when you sit down in the paint. I would say to some guys, if you can get in the paint, count to 1,000 or one 1,000. Not to 1,000, maybe just one.
That'd be a 3-second violation.
Just count, just 1/1,000. See what happens.
Stockman and Harms, the massive rejection.
See, I think that's the way you defend Jordan Murphy. You play with Matt Harms behind. You just say, Wheeler, just go straight up, force a tough shot, let Matt Harms do the work on the backside. I think that's how you should defend Jordan Murphy. That was a block on Mock Stockman, obviously.
Amir Coffey for 3. And the lead out to 12. Biggest of the game for Minnesota. Near steal by McBrayer. And now Eastern's got it. Out of the corner, Klein. Big hoop, Ryan Klein.
Sometimes broken plays are the plays that get you back in a basketball game. And made shots allow you to get your defense set.
Here's Coffey. Now Stoll, shot clock under 10. Stoll, here's Stockman. In on Eifert, blocked by Harms. Eastern the other way for Purdue. And Eastern alertly slows it up. Here's Edwards around the screen. Carson Edwards, not there. Murphy the rebound. Here's McBrayer now. Numbers for Minnesota if they hurry. Coffee. The air ball. Murphy's got it. McBrayer for three. And Eifert the rebound.
Minnesota's playing with great energy. I know that's something that people say is overrated. It's not. They're playing with great energy. They got the fan base involved in the basketball game, playing with confidence on both sides of the ball.
Edwards, the pull-up. Carson Edwards coming alive. 17 points for him, 8 here in the first 8 minutes of the second half, and Minnesota takes a timeout.
Amir Coffey able to get things rolling. When he gets out and runs, good things happen. When you make the Purdue Boilermaker defense chase the play, good things are going to happen. Set hard screens, cut hard, get open looks. The problem is you got to deal with this guy. Carson Edwards could go off for 30 and a half anytime he wants.
Bush on the inbounds, the baseball feed. It's caught. Hoffarmer for the win. Oh! He got it! Yes, it counts! Minnesota!
Blake Hoffarmer, great moment back in 2008. That gets Goldie fired up. The Gophers 50-43 over Purdue, and remarkably are doing it without that guy, Eric Curry, who's their top sub off the bench. Unfortunately, out for the season. He ruptured a foot tendon yesterday in practice. They're also without Michael Hurt, who is out for this game with a groin injury. So pretty remarkable for Minnesota with a shortened bench to be doing what they have done here and taking this 7-point lead. There you see Michael Hurt.
And you end up asking a lot of a guy like Mott Stockman, but I just look down here, and the plus minus sometimes isn't always, it doesn't tell the whole story. But Mott Stockman, with him on the floor, they're plus 11. Wow. There's nobody else close. So this is a guy that is impacting the game in a positive way. And you look at the numbers for Eric Curry, it doesn't justify the way he changes the game, the way he defends the post, the way he rebounds the basketball. He hasn't played significant minutes. He's still been coming back from injury, so it's just tough to see him go through another one.
It really is. A kid who missed all of last year with an injury, and Richard Pitino was just devastated for him when they found out today. As Coffey on the move will go to the free throw line.
Foul on 32, Harms.
That fouls on Harms, his first. And Amir Coffey, who's just been outstanding, going back to the stripe.
It's almost getting to the point where you have to take the ball out of his hands, where I know you're going to drag that screen out. You may want to just jump it and get the ball out of his hands.
Missed that one badly, as we remind you later tonight. The Big Show recaps everything happening in the conference. Highlights, post-game interviews, in-depth expert analysis. The Big Show presented by CDW tonight, 10:30 Eastern, here on BTN. How about Murphy, the offensive rebound off the miss. And so now a fresh shot clock here for Minnesota. Stoll hanging and hit it.
Second chance opportunities can absolutely change the game. And a lot of times you see that on a foul shot blockout. The guys doing the boxing out get their hands down and try to drive out guys like Murphy. Murphy got his hands up quickly.
Edwards can't get it to go. Harms the rebound. No, but Eastern is there to clean it up. This was a huge concern for Richard Pitino today, just how hard Purdue goes to the offensive glass. Coffey on the other end.
So, Dave, I talked about Minnesota having a counter for whatever adjustment Purdue makes. Purdue has come out, brought No-Gel Eastern up, but what they did is they set a ball screen in the backcourt, and that completely freed up Amir Coffey with numbers to attack.
Edwards. Murphy the rebound. He's got yet another double-double in this game. His 20th of the season. Here's Murphy. Now Coffey. Stockman. Arms knocks it away. Here comes Edwards. Carson Edwards. Can't get it to go. Back up by Eastern and in.
Talked about offensive rebounding when Carson Edwards attacks the basket. 3 guys follow the basketball. No-Gel Eastern cleans up the mess.
Now 19 second chance points for Purdue. clock at 10. Murphy working on Harms. Murphy trying to create some space. Harms may have gotten a piece of that one. And Edwards now and Purdue a chance to cut into this 7-point deficit as the Boilermakers look to win at least a share of their 24th Big Ten title, the most of any school. And in a dogfight, though, here tonight, Minnesota's led most of the way. Eifert, the head fake, the three, good!
Goes back to that pin down screen. So much attention comes to Ryan Klein. He curls it hard, makes a great read, takes it to the basket, and Grady Eifert is the beneficiary of good execution.
Third double-figure game for him in the last 8. He had none in the first 84 of his career. Remarkable story. Grady Eifert has the Boilers back within 4. Minnesota's lead has been as large as 12. It is down to 4, thanks to some good work on the offensive glass by Purdue. Now 19 second chance points. Amir Coffey's been tremendous, 21 points for the Gophers. Carson Edwards, 17, but on 20 shots for Purdue.
Yeah, and I don't mind if there's shots when you're attacking the basket. It's the tough ones that he settles for at a time where your team is trying to get the ball moving, make the defense work. That's where he's got to make better decisions. But when he sat down in the paint, good things have happened for Purdue.
On a 7-2 run, Murphy stripped away, and a turnover.
Murphy, I think Murphy got away with the travel.
Yeah, I thought so too. We have a great view of any travel.
Yes, we do, because we're looking at the feet.
Looking right at the shoes.
You and I both have nice booster seats, though. We were a little bit elevated.
I need a booster seat. I can bring it through life.
I'm still waiting for my growth spurt.
Here's Eastern, shot clock under 10. Now Edwards, here's Eifert, got it! Grady Eifert again!
Grady Eifert is the guy that they're kind of laying off. I mean, he sets good screens, he pops. He always gets himself to an open spot, and the open spot is not just where you can get a shot, it's where you can receive a pass.
An 8-0 run for Purdue, back within 1. How will the Gophers respond? Trying to get a signature win for the NCAA tournament. Shot clock under 10, the lob to Oturu. And nearly turned it over, shot clock at 2, McBrayer. Not there. And the rebound to Klein, and now Purdue could take the lead. Eastern will go to the line.
Tough lineup, and the only reason I say it's a tough lineup for Minnesota is because Amir Coffey was on the bench. Amir Coffey's been an absolute game changer. I mean, anytime he's on the floor, they're able to run ball screens for him, both in transition and the half court. Good things have happened. But for Purdue, this, again, I said this at the end of the first half, somewhere around there, it reminded me so much of their first meeting earlier this year in West Lafayette, where Minnesota got out, Purdue made adjustments, they got stops, and they got efficient on the offensive end.
Nogel Eastern's free throw shooting improvement. He is now 43 of his last 55.
Think Markelle Fultz ever thought about giving him a call? I mean, he's figured something out.
He
look,
really has.
We don't need to, look, it's a funky looking shot.
It's not a thing of beauty.
It's all right.
Right.
There are a lot of guys that have perfected it in perfection. Ryan Klein's is not exactly the way you would draw it up if you're a shooting coach, but he's perfected it in perfection. Of course, we're talking about him, and he misses.
He hits 1 of 2. So Purdue had an opportunity to take its first lead since the 12-minute mark of the first half, but as it is, back to a tie game here. Now Coffey, who's just been outstanding, he's fouled from behind by Eastern. That is 3 on Nogel Eastern.
And Nogel Eastern has to play smart defense against Amir Coffey. You can't be too aggressive in terms of reaching. The hand checking, you got to be cautious of that. They're looking to call that around the perimeter. He's a great defender, but you've got to avoid playing with your hands.
Amir Coffey, the 10th leading scorer in the Big Ten, drains his first free throw. Now 22 in this game for for Minnesota Mr. Basketball, their highest rated recruit since Chris Humphreys, and the guy who started a nice pattern of Minneapolis area players coming here to Minnesota, including this outstanding freshman class, has now put the Gophers back up by 2. Edwards tried to knife through, lost it, out of bounds, and he turned it over.
Not a lot of room, but I look at Amir Coffey's defense. He trailed the play. He played defense from behind, and you had multiple defenders digging down at the basketball, just not giving Carson Edwards the room he needs to work.
10th turnover for the Boilermakers. Here's Stockman, and he turns it right back. An over and back violation. 56-54, Richard Pitino's team trying to fight its way into the tourney. Basketball on BTN is presented by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans and brought to you by State Farm, here to help life go right. Talk to a State Farm agent today. Let's listen in on the Purdue huddle from moments ago.
We're right here with 10 minutes. We said we were going to be here. This is where we are, but it doesn't come back in a possession. It comes back in a lot of little things. So keep making those plays. Hey, you can't have a tired mind out there.
He's great. He's great. He's spot on. And what he's saying is, at the half, we said we're going to get this game back. We're going to have an opportunity to win this basketball game. He talks about winning with the little things. That's what's defined their entire season. It's not just Carson Edwards. It's everybody else doing the little things right. That's what allows them to win games at the level that they're winning games.
Here is Edwards. Coffee on him. They'll back it out. Edwards. Over Stockman, doesn't go. And the rebound to Coffee. Coffee slicing through. Boudreau the rebound.
And some of those little things Matt Painter's talking about is patience. The perseverance that you got to have if you want to come back in a basketball game like this on the road against a team that's hungry for this win.
Edwards loses it. Murphy's got it to Coffee. 3-on-2 for Minnesota. McBrayer left it short, and the rebound to Eifert.
And this is a Purdue lineup that's got to rebound the basketball really well. You think about the size on the floor. Jordan Murphy, doesn't matter how big he is, he's going to find a way to get the basketball.
Eifert has been outstanding in this game. Klein in on Kalsher, tough shot. Boudreau the rebound. Looked like he pushed off a little bit, but what is he fouled? He was.
I think he was held. He was trying to get his hands out.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a foul on the drive. I mean, you talk about freedom of movement. I did feel, no, I guess good defense. I like that no call. I was wrong. They're going to look at this. I mean, I would not be surprised if that's a hook and hold on Evan Boudreau.
Certainly Boudreau initiated it. I don't think there's any doubt that Boudreau initiated that.
And you got to watch. I think it's the left arm of Evan Boudreau. There it is. He locks it up. That's
textbook, isn't it?
Textbook as it gets. I mean, the problem is, with the rule being what it is, they can't take away the common foul that they called on Mott Stockman, but it's very likely. I'm not a betting man. I like to watch other people bet. It's more fun. I'm not a betting man, but I'll tell you, that is textbook hook and hold on Evan Boudreau. Didn't need to do it either.
Officials taking a look at this one. Another look at it here. I failed to see any way that isn't.
Textbook. That is a textbook hook and hold. This is where I wish they had a fourth official sitting over there and said, yep, it is. Play on, flagrant one, play. I will say this favors Minnesota. Kind of stopping the rhythm of the game. Purdue has come back. They've been the aggressor. They've attacked on both sides of the ball. They've rebounded well defensively. They've gotten out and attacked in transition. They moved the basketball better, set better screens. little stoppage here could take some of the rhythm out of the game for Purdue.
Again, if you're just joining us, Purdue with a win clinches at least a share of the Big Ten title. They could win it outright by winning here and beating Northwestern. Also on BTN on Saturday. For Minnesota, this would be a signature win, its third quad one win of the year, and would go a long way toward getting the Gophers off the bubble and into the NCAA tournament.
We're going to get word here. Find out.
Larry Scarrato coming over.
The original call on the floor is a common foul against white 35. The hook and hold foul is against black 12. Flagrant one foul.
I'm guessing you could hear that because I could, but again, exactly as we said,
Yep.
John.
Yeah, the common foul can't be taken away. That stays on Mott Stockman. But that's going to be a flagrant one on Evan Boudreau. Textbook. Even if you're a Purdue fan, you look at that and go, nah. Yeah, he did it.
And again, this is a rule that in large part was put into place because of an
Isaac
injury
Haas.
to a Purdue player in Isaac Haas. But that is exactly what they are trying to get out of the game. And so now Stockman to the free throw line.
If there's anybody that's going to do it, it's going to be an undersized big and a guy like Evan Boudreau.
Stockman misses the free throw. Now 2 of 5 from the stripe. Just under 50% on the year. He will have one more. Big moment for him. And he's able to hit 1 of 2. 7 points now for Stockman, who again has seen his playing time skyrocket with Eric Curry sidelined for the year due to an injury.
See, that's one I hope they can fix. You know, next go around, rule changes and all that. I hope they can fix that, where you look at it and say, Mott Stockman didn't foul. Let's just take that one off the board. You could really impact a basketball game with a call like that.
That foul on Stockman was just the 4th on the Gophers, which is why Purdue did not shoot. Here's Coffey. On the baseline, Murphy tried to bowl his way in, and he traveled.
There's only so much you can do when Matt Harms is in position. He was maybe a half a step behind the play, but he closed out pretty well. There he is. I mean, stands straight up. Maybe a little bit of contact. Been a lot of contact for both sides. What's the way it's going to be? Next 6 minutes, get ready. You're going to have to fight to finish.
Edwards for 3. Doesn't go, and Murphy the rebound.
He had Matt Harms wide open. That would have been a dunk. Still is important to get Carson Edwards making shots. When he makes shots, it just changes the way the entire team in Minnesota has to defend Purdue.
Gophers have missed their last 5. Kalsher ends that with a big 3. First hoop of the game for the freshman. The mark. Eifert the rebound. Could have gone back up with it, and instead he throws it away.
He was wide open. I don't think Grady Eifert realized how open he was. But Gabe Kalsher, great read. Defender goes to jump coming off of that screen, tries to go underneath. He makes the right read, goes behind the screen, gets his feet set, shoulder squared, knock it down.
6-0 run for Minnesota. Kalsher, does he have another one in him? Does not. And Eifert the rebound.
And Richard Pitino didn't like that one. You want to be aggressive, but you also want to be,
He giveth
cautious.
and he taketh
Yes,
away.
yeah. Be patient with your aggression.
Here's Edwards. Not there on the 3. Eifert again turns it over off the rebound. Coffey hanging, left it short. Eastern's got it for Purdue. Here's Eastern. He is fouled as Kalsher goes down in a heap.
I was going to say, I think Gabe Kalsher took the worst of that one. Joe Eastern needs to do this more often. And he's not putting his head down. He's doing a good job keeping his head up. But he's got to get to the basket. There's just nobody there that can stop this. Yeah, Gabe Kalsher took the worst of that one. Good hard foul, though. You don't want to get dunked on like what happened in the first half.
Confidence of Eastern hits the first one. He is into double figures. This is the 9th time this season he's been in double figures, as Kalsher will take a seat with 4 fouls. One more now for Eastern to try to get it back to 4. Back heel and out, and the rebound is Stoll. Murphy to Stockman. Edwards, not there. Rebound, Stockman. Here's Coffey. One-on-one with Klein. Lays it in. A 10-1 run for Minnesota. The Gophers up by 9. Minnesota on top of Purdue 64-55 as we take a look at this message from ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire and the official hiring partner of the Big Ten Conference.
Hiring delays were causing work to pile up. That's not smart. But you know what is smart? Using ZipRecruiter. They find people with the right skills, education, and experience for my job and actively invite them to apply. So I got qualified candidates fast. No wonder ZipRecruiter is rated #1 by employers in the U.S.
ZipRecruiter, official hiring partner of the Big Ten Conference. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/Big Ten.
Well, just when you thought Purdue was going to turn things around, take the lead, they had a couple opportunities. Minnesota has had answer after answer. The double team, no backside help from the guards. Mod Stockman gets a dunk and then a good block. Amir Coffey out in transition, and this place has erupted.
One of the great atmospheres in the Big Ten when it gets going, and it has gotten going tonight. Got Carson Edwards, who has had an off night shooting the ball. Here's Eifert. Klein, long 3 on the way. Ryan Klein drains another one. 15 points for him, and we're back to a 6-point game.
You just see how well Purdue executes out of timeouts. They are disciplined. They're hard to stop.
Coffey falls down. Good hustle by the Boilers. Here comes Eastern. Leaves it for Klein for 3. Good!
That's an answer. I felt as if Purdue had a run at them, but not like that right out of the timeout. We got a 3-point ball game. It was a 10-1 run for Minnesota, and a great answer from Ryan Klein, really.
Yeah, 2 straight threes, so an individual 6-0 run gets us back to 3, and now a foul on Eastern on top.
Ryan Klein, look, they create opportunities with good defense. Amir Coffey just kind of slipped, went down. They create the opportunity by getting the ball out and running. And you know who the hot hand is. You know Ryan Klein's going behind, little European action there. And when he's feeling it, you got to get him the basketball.
Well, the eye contact from Eastern and Klein was really important there. They knew exactly what they were doing. As Coffey rattles the first free throw home.
At times, Eastern in transition, I felt like he could be more aggressive going to the basket, but he's done a good job keeping his head up, looking for opportunities around the perimeter.
Fouls an issue, as you can see, for Purdue. 27 points now for Amir Coffey on the heels of 31 against Northwestern.
Wouldn't be surprised to see double screen on the baseline, maybe this pin down for Ryan Klein.
Shot clock at 15, Eastern. Now Edwards, Kalsher on him. Carson Edwards trying to create some space, does not go. Eifert the rebound, and Kalsher has fouled out of this game.
I was going to say Carson Edwards should have attacked Gabe Kalsher as quickly as he could. Ends up picking the foul up anyway.
That is only 6 on Minnesota. So Purdue not yet going to the free throw line. Tough evening for Gabe Kalsher. There's Klein, been red hot. Harms. And it's stolen by Coffey. McBrayer with him. Lays it up, no good. And then a foul on the rebound.
How many careless passes, just simple ball reversal passes have we seen? I mean, that one, Matt Harms, he had an opportunity to make a play inside. He's got Brock Stoll on him, and he just throws the ball away. Careless plays will often determine the outcome of the game. And too many careless turnovers just give opportunity for your opponent.
That foul was on Harms on the shot of McBrayer. Not that it particularly matters because shooting 2 either way is they are in the double bonus. Dupree McBrayer, final home game for a guy who's been through so much. And he goes into double figures for just the 2nd time in the last 14 games. And now this crowd again rising to its feet. Does Purdue have an answer? A share of the Big Ten title is theirs if they do. Shot clock at 10. Edwards. Tough 3. Doesn't go. Batted around. Eastern. Back up and in.
Right now is where if you're Purdue, you want to pick up. You don't want to foul, but you definitely want to pick up the pressure a little bit. Extend this basketball game as much as you can. Starts with a stop here.
Here's Stoll. Trying to get the handoff, couldn't get it. Coffey with the shot clock at 10. Shot clock at 6. In over Harms, not there. And the rebound to Klein. A minute to go from the barn. 5-point ball game. Edwards just 2 of 12 behind the arc. Eastern, now Harms. Shot clock at 6. Klein scoops it up and draws the foul. Kind of got bailed out there, John.
He did. He really did. Ryan Klein doesn't get a lot of those calls because he's not always able to turn the corner. When you turn the corner on a defender, you put yourself in an advantageous position where the defender has to go through you to take that shot away.
So now Ryan Klein, the most improved scorer in the Big Ten this year, but he misses a critical free throw.
They have struggled from the free throw line today, Dave. I mean, you've had opportunities. Again, they haven't been in the bonus, but you've had opportunities at the free throw line and haven't been able to capitalize.
Just 6 of 15 for Purdue. And it may very well come back to haunt them. Klein does hit the second one. Now 19 points, but it's a 2-possession game. Minnesota able to break the press. And now you do have to foul, and Eastern.
And Nogel Eastern's telling Matt Harms, you got to foul.
Yeah, that's 5 on Nogel Eastern.
He had to foul Amir Coffey. He would have rather put Jordan Murphy at the free throw line.
Didn't seem like everyone was on the same page there for Purdue.
No, and communication down the stretch is paramount to a comeback or success. And here you see it. I mean, just Matt Harms not aware that he has to foul. You got to extend the basketball game. Nogel Eastern is aware, but he's going to foul out.
Now Coffey, 60 points over the last 2 games. 29 tonight. 6-point game. Boilers have to hurry. Edwards, not there. The story of Purdue's night. Coffey the rebound, and Minnesota can taste it.
I'm just impressed with the response. And that's something Richard Pitino's talked about all year. He says, I want to see my guys respond to adversity. They've had to do it with injuries from time to time. And here's an opportunity to respond to a great run from Purdue, who really cut this thing close. Minnesota has continued to come back on the attack. That's why they got the 6-point lead with 21.5 left.
That's tonight's SoFi game reset as Coffee misses them both. 20 seconds to go. Edwards. Blocked by Stockman, but he was fouled. And so Edwards will get to the free throw line.
Minnesota foul number 5 on
That foul was on Amir Coffee.
Carson Edwards for the line, shooting 2.
That's something in transition Carson Edwards could do every time down floor. Just attack the basket.
Edwards has had a really rough night. 6 of 29 for Carson Edwards. 2 of 13 behind the arc, just 3 of 6 at the free throw line, where he is normally incredibly dependable. 3rd in the Big Ten in free throw percentage. He hits the first one there, but no matter what happens here, still a 2-possession game.
Well, you don't make foul shots, particularly on the road. It's going to be hard to win. It's tough enough to win it as it is on the road. Senior night, the emotions tied to this night. What's on the line for Minnesota? And this gets them in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
A win here gets them in the NCAA tournament. And what's on the line for Purdue is a Big Ten regular season title. An outright title.
Stoll trying to get it in, does get it to Coffee, and he is fouled.
3rd personal foul.
You wonder too if there is pressure on Purdue. They haven't consistently played at a high level. Now they have played at a high level in terms of their ability to defend, stay in basketball games, give themselves a chance and pull away towards the end, but not in dominating fashion. The Ohio State game was a different story. They dominated that basketball game.
They've been a remarkable story. You think about a team that lost 5,100 career points from last season. I mean, outside of Carson Edwards, they returned 11 career starts this year. So for Matt Painter to have them where he has is incredible. But unable to get over the hump tonight. Edwards, with time wasting, hits the 3. And so a little more suspense as we're back to a 2-point game. 5.2 seconds to go.
Yeah, I mean, this is crunch time. You just got to get the basketball in. And guys like Amir Coffee, you can trust to throw it up to him and he'll go get it. I think you also bring Jordan Murphy back. Yes, he's been deep. You got to bring him back. You got to make sure you get the basketball in bounds. And I like the plays where you bring Amir Coffee from the half-court line in. He starts on the baseline around the foul line. It's easy to defend. You end up getting caught in the corner. Now, there's no time to trap. It's got to be either a steal or an immediate foul. Minnesota still 1 timeout left. You know coaches in the huddle are making them aware of that.
71-69 Minnesota behind another outstanding performance from Amir Coffee. Had 31 against Northwestern on Thursday. How about 30 tonight? The first Gopher with back-to-back 30-point games since Vincent Greer in 2005. He has just been tremendous, John.
I almost said it earlier in the broadcast. It was one of those things that's so obvious that just sounds silly, but when he plays well, this is a really good basketball team. And I know that sounds kind of vague and broad, but it's true. Amir Coffee changes the game when he's playing well, and usually when he's playing well, it's because he's getting stuff in transition. They opened up the court to start the game. They still found opportunities in the second half, regardless of the way Purdue's defended it differently in terms of taking certain transition opportunities away, but a lot of those came from good defense or poor offense at times from Purdue. You got Matt Harms on the ball. Brock Stahl throwing it in. He can run the sideline, or it's the baseline, excuse me.
Stahl does. To throw over the 7-3 Harms. Can he get it in? They turn it over. No! It went off of Eifert.
They're going to look at it.
They'll take another look at it.
I'm going to tell you right now, from my angle, that went off Amir Coffee. And this could be really interesting. I felt like it went off the back of Amir Coffee. Now, I'm a terrible official unless I see it 4 times in slow-mo, but that's going to be my initial. I think Grady Eifert got that off of Amir Coffee.
Well, at this point, if in hindsight, obviously, you just let it go if you're Eifert.
I'm telling you, Grady Eifert's not out of bounds. Keep it rolling. Grady Eifert's not out of bounds.
That's Coffey's hand hitting it there.
Well, I'm saying it hits off the back of Amir Coffey here, and that's how it goes out of bounds. Might not be the best angle, but you see the trajectory of the ball changes.
Yep.
I felt like, I mean, where we're sitting, we have a great look at it. Grady Eifert not out of bounds there. And that hits off of Amir Coffey.
Do you think it hits him right there?
I do. I do. I mean, again, that's what I saw in real speed, in real time. Trajectory of the ball spins after it hits after him. I mean, the question is, the call on the floor was off of Grady Eifert. Can you change it? To me, I saw it in full speed. It looked like it was off Amir Coffey. Watching that again, I feel like it confirms what I saw. But I don't know if it's enough to overturn at this point. Let's see that. Gosh, I tell you, this is a tough one because it's got to be enough to overturn it. And again, it doesn't matter what I saw. I'm not even saying that I'm right.
But that's Coffey's hand. Man, it's tough. I'm going to do the disclaimer that I always do, which is we are looking at about a 14-inch monitor, and most people are sitting at home looking at an 80-inch monitor.
I feel like it hit off the backside of Amir Coffey while his foot was out of bounds.
Yeah. And in that case, it would clearly be
there it is.
There.
The ball spins after it hits him. I mean, to me, that's off of Amir Coffey, and if so, things got really interesting with 3.9 left. And right now in the huddle, Matt Painter doesn't have a timeout. He's talking about what they're going to do if they have the basketball. We already know you're going to foul. You want to force a turnover, obviously, if you get a shot up, but you got to foul to extend the basketball game. And
I really feel strongly, by the way, that they shouldn't be able to huddle up here.
Absolutely. That's a free timeout.
It's a free timeout.
Without a doubt, that's a free timeout.
They should make them all go to the opposite end of the court from their
Just
coach.
think about how different this is for Purdue. If they don't have this opportunity to talk about what they're going to do, they have to trust what they practice, trust their situations that they go through in practice. And please believe, every coach does it. You create situations for your team in practice, but it's nothing like this in a game situation where you got a regular season title on the line. If you're Purdue, Minnesota, you've got an opportunity to, in my opinion, secure an NCAA tournament berth. I'm telling you, that hits off of Amir Coffey. And let's keep rolling that because the ball still hadn't touched out of bounds yet. If it doesn't hit Amir Coffey there, does he touch it at all? It actually hits, I don't know if it hit off his leg after the bounce. I'll tell you, there were a couple times.
Courtney Green. Courtney Green is coming over now to look at our monitor, interestingly. And they have called it Minnesota ball.
I disagree. I completely disagree, and I know Minnesota fans are going to go crazy on that. I feel like it hits off of Amir Coffey's leg. The ball still hadn't gone out of bounds. He was standing out of bounds. That hit off of Amir Coffey's backside and his leg. I just think it comes down to having the right angle. And again, it doesn't matter. Right now, you got to defend. You got Matt Harms on the ball. Brock Saul can't move. Throwing it long doesn't hurt.
And he does throw it long to Coffey, buying some time, and Edwards fouls him.
I gotta tell you, I mean, look, either way, a fan base is gonna go crazy. I just felt like from what we saw live, and the ball hitting both the backside and the leg of Amir Coffey. I'm not sure if they saw that last look that we got, which is Amir Coffey's foot standing out of bounds and the ball bouncing off of his calf. Either way, doesn't matter.
So Coffey to the free throw line. Now 31 points. He could tie his career high here and for all intents and purposes seal an NCAA tournament bid for Minnesota. And he rolls it home.
Wow, what a senior night. Congratulations to these seniors. They deserve it.
And here they come. They are storming the court in Minneapolis. An enormous win for Minnesota as the Gophers feel they have now done enough to get themselves into the big dance. For Purdue, a missed opportunity They now travel to Northwestern on Saturday, needing a win there to clinch at least a share of the Big Ten title. Number 11 Purdue going down to Richard Pitino's Gophers. The Boilers' streak of 13 straight wins against unranked teams coming to an end. Minnesota winning for just the third time in its last 9 games, but an enormous win for these Gophers on an emotional senior night. You see Mont Stockman, who had a career night.
Everybody listen up. Students, thank you.
They're now going to ask the students to clear the floor. We're going to have senior night speeches here in Minneapolis. Richard Pitino is taking the microphone. So Richard Pitino has turned into a bit of a cheerleader here, acknowledging the contributions of his seniors. How about Dupree McBrayer? What a difficult journey it's been for him. The passing of his mother has overcome so much adversity.
Thank you, first and foremost, to Coach Pitino. He took me in when I looked for a place to transfer to, so I'm extremely grateful for that. And thank you to all my teammates that stuck with me for 2 years and helped me through the trends coming over to the U of M. This is a great school, and I love playing here. And I just want to say thank you to all the fans for coming out to every single game and supporting us. Thank you so much, and go Gophers.
Brock Stahl, get over here, Brock. Game-winning pass. Should have called the timeout.
Just kind of like mods, I like to thank everyone for taking me in, especially my teammates and coaches. That was one hell of a win, fellas.
Jarvis Johnson, as you guys know, was one of our first recruits that we needed to keep home. We need to keep every recruit home. He's got unbelievable heart. He's a terrific leader, Jarvis Johnson. Y'all was crazy tonight. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all was crazy tonight. Y'all hear me now? I'm extremely grateful for this opportunity. I want to thank Coach, everybody, fans, my family. Man, let's go make a run in the tournament. Go Gophers. Dupree, where you at, Dupree? Dupree.
Hey, I just want to say thank y'all. Hey, I just want to thank y'all. You know, I've been through so much in adversity. Y'all stuck by me. Thank you to all the loyal fans. You know, I can't even speak right now. Hey, I have my family come out with my Aunt Keisha. Look, hey, everybody say what's up to Keisha, y'all. But I really want to thank y'all from the bottom of my heart, man. When my mom died, you know, I just felt like quitting basketball. You know, y'all helped me get through that. This is one big family, and I'm definitely going to miss it, you know. And I just want to say I love y'all.
Last but not least, I held off on it
because I wanted to win this game. But that jersey will be up there in no time. Jordan Murphy.
I just want to thank you guys for 4 years of great support. I couldn't be here without coaches, my coaching staff, my teammates, my family over there. Y'all been great to me for 4 years, and I appreciate it. Love all y'all, and can't wait to be in the tournament.
Thank you. Be safe. Go Gophers.
Quite a way to celebrate senior night here in Minneapolis as Minnesota picks up a huge win, 73-69 over the 11th ranked team in the country, the Minnesota Golden Gophers, hugely enhancing their NCAA tournament resume. Well, that'll do it from Williams Arena. Again, the final, 73-69. Coming up next on BTN, the Big Ten Basketball postgame show. Join us tomorrow for Super Wednesday starting at 7 Eastern. For Jack Crispin and our entire broadcast crew, I'm Dave Refson saying good night from Minneapolis.
Don't kid with COVID. M Health Fairview wants you to know that what you do today will affect your family and our community tomorrow. Did you know that unchecked, COVID-19 can have a multiplier effect? On average, someone who has the virus is likely to spread it to 2 more people. In no time, those 3 become 15. 15 could jump to over 60 and so on. Wash your hands, avoid big groups, stay home, don't go out. We've all got to do our part.
Thank you.